is activism. It's an activity that addresses social or political change. If any of you watching are engaged in activism, it can be very time-consuming and mentally draining. Not only do you have to deal with the opposition to your cause, you have to deal with the internal issues of the cause you're fighting for. That usually gets down to dealing with other people, and sometimes it leads to divisive drama. Maybe you're overpassionate about a particular point, or they're overpassionate, but sometimes things don't go the way you'd expect them to go. Not everything goes the way we want it. It isn't a perfect world. Not everyone thinks the same way you think, and everyone has their own quirks. So, let's address infighting within communities. Everyone has a vision of how they want the world to be. For most people involved in activism, we want to make the world a better place for future generations. The problem now arises is how to make the world a better place, and each and every one of us has a different solution to make that happen. We meet on a common ground of ideas that we can all agree on. Infighting can range from how the ideas are addressed to all kinds of issues that can divide the movement you are a part of. Sometimes we have to deal with toxic people, or people who want to control or even manipulate various people, or even the cause we're fighting for. It's okay to walk away from those people and form other circles. Sometimes people need to be reminded that what we're fighting for isn't about them, and their egos need to be put in check. Yet again, that causes drama too, doesn't it? So, what is the solution in dealing with another toxic activist that is dividing or disrupting the cause you're supporting? Firstly, you have to look within yourself. What is your worldview? What are you trying to do to further a better future for humanity? Think about that for a second. Every activist should know this. One of the best quotes I've heard is, if you want to change the world, you have to change yourself first. You can't change the world for the better if you're not living your best, truest life. That doesn't mean you have to be rich either. It just means you have to know who you are internally. Is the reason you're involved to become famous? Or is the reason you're involved to actually initiate change? Or both? Activists should never make activism about themselves. Always remind yourselves that the actions you're taking are for future generations. The main drive behind activism should be helping others, be it marginalized people or even a bill the government is trying to pass that you are in favor of or against. It's how your views affect society. How do we move away from toxic people? Look, we all encounter someone who just rubs us the wrong way. Sometimes these people will even attack us personally, or sometimes you'll notice people attacking others you're working with, causing division. Take a step back and see if there's any validity behind what they're saying. Sometimes constructive criticism can be taken the wrong way and cause conflicts. Sometimes we need to listen to other people's points of view. Yet, when do they cross the line? They cross the line when things get personal, when things are specifically about the way you look or talk, or any engagement to start drama. Find people you are compatible with. There are plenty of activism networks out there, plenty of crews you can be a part of, plenty of friends you can make. And sometimes, that's really all you need to be an activist group, a bunch of friends with the same worldview. You don't need to join any particular group at all if you don't want to. You have to mesh well with your fellow activists. You have to think about why we're activists in the first place. We're activists because we're involved in various issues and care about various things because we have compassion and empathy for other people. At least on the left, we want to stop suffering or injustice. While we may not all agree on political ideologies, the goal is to ease suffering and to hold those in power accountable. You know, we can't achieve any goals if we're working with people who divide us, or who are looking for their 15 minutes of fame. Yes, sometimes people will get noticed by the media, and that's okay as long as it doesn't get to that person's head. And yes, it's okay to take a break from activism too. Breaks are needed to equalize your emotional state. We may see things all the time that get us angry, that frustrates us, and sometimes in seeing those things, we stop thinking rationally. It's okay to get mad, but when you do, take a step back, take a deep breath, relax, reevaluate your feelings versus the situation that made you angry. We must look at things soberly, with intelligence, and without overreacting emotionally. Sometimes that's very hard to do, especially when you're seeing a friend of yours being assaulted at a protest. Let's get into that. Protesting tactics need to change dramatically. Assess the situation you're in. When adrenaline kicks in, time slows down a bit. It's fight or flight mode. Snap out of it. Your instincts are driving you, not logic and reason. This goes the same with online confrontations too. Snap out of it. Take a deep breath. Remove yourself from the situation for a second and look at it from a different perspective. And yes, I understand that sometimes we can't do that. Sometimes things happen in the heat of the moment and we have absolutely zero control over the situation, especially on the street. Yet, that's where planning comes in. Sit down with your fellow activists and come up with a list of things that could go wrong, and come up with scenarios you all agree on to circumvent negative outcomes. It's always good to be on the same page with the people you're with, especially street protests. It also gives you more of a tactical advantage if you plan when things go wrong. Get some ideas before you step into anything. That's the point. Understand who you're going up against, be it the establishment or a far right-wing ideology. Education is key to the dynamics of collective actions against these structures. Thank you for watching. I hope you liked the video. I hope it was a bit informative. Hit the like button if you did. Subscribe if you're not. Hit the bell for notifications. There's more videos coming soon.